Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Sumit and in this video I'm going to demonstrate you how to do Twitter visualization using QlikSense. So my main objective of creating this video is to demonstrate you that how can we pull the tweets which we have been done on the Twitter or any tweets which I'm following on my homepage, on users homepage, and I would like to read all those tweets into QlikSense and I would like to visualize it by using various charts. So let's suppose I want to find out that which user has done maximum number of tweets or or I would like to display the tweets based on user according to users. So that's the requirement. So to build a connection between QlikSense and Twitter, we'll be going to take help of REST API, which is already available in QlikSense. Only we need to do is we need to get the URL and the proper authorization links which can be provided in the REST API, and we can connect it with the Twitter. So let's move on to the next part. For example, that's my QlikSense interface, and here I'm going to create a new app. So I create a new app named as Twitter app. Create this app. I'm going to open this app, and the very first thing I'm going to do is we need to load the data. So when I click on add data, we have a REST API. We have a REST option to load the data. So when I click on REST, it will give me few requirements, few details which I need to fill up here. I need to give URL, the username, password, if it is required, if authentication is required, and also the query parameter. Based on that, we would be reading the data or extracting the data from Twitter. So let's move on to Twitter first. So that's the console I will be using in Twitter. So dev.twitter.com, and I have already logged in into it. So you can see I have already logged in and go to Twitter. If I want to go to Twitter and look at my tweets, so I can click on Twitter and look all the tweets. So first of all, I select the service which I will be requiring. So my service I will be requiring here is status user timeline. So I'm using get service here, get and set. So we have two type, get and post. So we have two type of services, get and post. So I'm using get service. So basically this return the 20 most recent status posted by the authenticating users. And so if you want to know more about this, you can read this. And this method can only return up to 3200 of a user's most recent status and so on. So I select this service and I'm going to authenticate this. So for authentication, I click on auth 1. So click on authentication 1. It will be requiring the permission, request Twitter permission. So I give permission by signing in with Twitter and authenticate it. Authorized app. So by using this, what we can do, we can read the tweets from your timeline, see how you follow and the following new people, updates your profile, post tweets for you, and access your direct messages. So I'm going to authorize this particular APG API console for extracting the tweets from my timeline. So I click on authorize app. So it has been authorized. Next, I scroll down in the queries in this query section, and I need to give some parameters here. So once you click on connect, you can see the authorization has been set to my account name. That's my account name, Sumit Goyal 4. That's the account name on Twitter. And if you look here, it will be querying based on parameter, based on count, sense ID, string user, and so on. So here we have two requirements, that is user ID and screen name. These two are mandatory. So user ID is the ID for the user for whom to return results, and the screen name is the screen name of the user. So my screen name is Sumit Goyal 4, but I'm not sure about my user ID. So to get the user ID, I using a link mytwitterid.com, and here I paste my screen name, and as soon as I provide my screen name over here and enter, it will look for the Twitter ID for my screen name, and that's my Twitter ID. So I copy this Twitter ID and paste it in this particular section, Twitter ID. And once I provide all the required details, Twitter ID and username and the authentication and the service I would be requiring for, I click on send. So it will link with the Twitter, get the all the post or all the tweets which has been done on my timeline, and it will display here. So you can see here connection is keeping alive, content length is and limit remaining, status is okay, and if you see, these are the tweets which has been done. Now my requirement is I would like to read these tweets by using QlikSense, or I would like to find out that which user has done how many tweets. So let's see how to connect with using REST API in QlikSense. So first of all, we would be requiring the URL here, and for URL, you can see we have got this URL. So I copy this URL from here and paste in this URL section. Timeout is okay. Method would be get, because here the requested URL is get method, so that's why I choose the same method. Auto detect response type, I'm okay with this sequence ID because I want to get all the posts in a sequential order, so I'll go with this sequence ID. Authentication, user windows authentication I set to no, because I'm going to provide the authentication for Twitter, so I'll provide the username for Twitter which I would be using. And then user certification I set to no. Pagination I set to none, because I want all the pages in a sequential order. Next, I would be requiring to pass the parameters into query header, and if you look here, that's the request, that's the URL we're using, and these are the parameters which we need to pass. So the very first parameter is authorization, so I copy this authorization, and the value is, I copy this copy the list of value at this complete URL and paste it in QlikSense. I need more parameters to be added, so click on plus. Second parameter I would be requiring is host. Right. Paste host, and the value for this will be api.twitter.com, and the next will be x target URI. That will be the third query header, and this is the value. That's the value. And finally, I provide a name to this link, Twitter data connector, and click on next. So if everything is okay and all the authentications are satisfied, it will move to the next screen and give us an option to choose the required data. As you can see here, the authentication has been done successfully, and now it gives me an option to read the data. So I click on root and I can read data here, and I'll go with no limits of 5 millions of records, pre-symbolic symbols count, preload symbols count. So we'll be loading the huge amount of record. So these are the records. So I'll go with no limit. I set it to no limit symbols count, and also I'll check include HTTP response header. Yeah, because I was not getting the required value, so that's why I uncheck this option, include HTTP response header, and I select root from the left side. And on the left pane, when I select root, it gives me all the values, all the recent tweets here. If you want to look at the metadata for this, you can look at the metadata. These are the columns, and that's the data preview. And once we're done with this, I click on load data and finish. So it may take some time to analyze the data. So now analyzation has been done. Now it will be loading data. So as you can see here, the data has been loaded successfully. It took a long time because it was loading data from out of this network. So that's why it took a long time. So once I'm done with this, I click on edit the sheet because I would like to visualize it. Now for visualization, I would be requiring bar chart. So I drag and drop my bar chart, and now I'm going to add the dimension. So my dimension will be, I would like the name, so I say name, and again I use name and count, so name count. So quickly you can see I have done the visualization. So these are the tweets which have been done by various users on my timeline, or whom I'm following, and I can look the maximum number of tweets in a day has been done by this particular person. And so that's how we can quickly visualize the data from Twitter by using clicks. So we can done it, and that's the chart, and we can quickly clip it and visualization can be done. We can quickly take a snapshot of it and share it. So that's how we can do the visualization or complete the visualization by extracting the data from Twitter accounts. So that's all in this video. If you have any queries, you can subscribe our YouTube channel, or you can visit our website for customized training on QlikSense. Keep watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.